Hello, we look like the screen has gone red and we are live. So welcome to all of our Year 6 students who are going to be joining us in September in Year 7 to what is our live induction. I'm going to go through some introductions first of all to 3 people that you're going to get to know very well as of September when you come and join us. But we really wanted to welcome you and say hi, seeing as that you can't come into school and meet us face to face. So I'm Mr. Brown. I know that lots of you in the junior school will know me already, and I am the head of the middle school, which means that I look after years 7, 8 and 9. And then I'm going to introduce 2 other people to you, the first of which being Mr. Sherpak, who is deputy head of the co-curriculum and sort of all-round community good guy. So Mr. Sherpak, do you want to give everybody a little wave? There he is.
Everyone.
Okay, and then second of all, I want to introduce possibly the most important person, Year 6, that you're going to come to really respect and really enjoy it, and you're extremely lucky, as am I, to work with Miss Pearson. Miss Pearson is going to be your head of Year 7. Miss Pearson, do you want to say hi?
Hello, Year 6. So excited to meet you in September.
Okie doke. So it comes back to me, there I am, you know, this is all magic, this is all happening behind the scenes, it's just flitting from one to the other. Look, obviously, we very much wanted to have you in person this year. We really missed being able to have the current Year 7s in. Last year, we weren't able to do that, and unfortunately, as we know, this COVID thing is sticking around, unfortunately. So we're going to try and make the most of it with our live induction, and the whole point of this is for you to get more information about the school that you're joining, more of an understanding so that you know what to expect when you do join us in Year 7, and also a chance for you to ask some questions, because no doubt, you know, this is a really big point in your school careers, your lives. You're going to have lots and lots of questions and probably some, you know, anxious feelings about certain things, you know, joining secondary school. And we really want to hear you out. We want to answer as many of those as possible so that we can put you at ease, and then we can concentrate on the really good stuff when you join us, which is, you know, exciting, making new friends, trying new things, and actually growing up, okay, which is, like I said, a really important step for you all to take. So I'm going to go first. If I click my fingers, a little bit of a delay, there should be a PowerPoint starting. And what I want to talk to you about is 2 things. The first thing being, what sort of school are you joining? So even if you are a current Year 6 here, you will know a little bit about the history of the school. But those of you that go to our local and not so local primary schools won't really know the extent of the history of our school. And as you can see from some of these pictures, we go back a long way at the Royal Alexandra and Albert School. And we were very much born out of 2 charities. You know, we had an Albert charity for boys, a small school for boys, and an Alexandra school for girls, and they merged together on this site in Reigate many moons ago. And whilst many things at school have changed, which you can see from the photos on screen, our history is something we're very proud of, and we really hold dear the core values that were set out when the school was first formed by those 2 charities. And I think the best place to start this presentation is actually talking to you about our school crest. So again, this school crest, this badge that you will wear with honour on your school blazer, and you will also wear it on your PE kit and any sports team that you represent. You know, it's on the minibuses. We're really proud of our school crest. And I must say, as a PE teacher, going to visit lots and lots of other schools, I quite like our school crest. I think it's actually something that's quite smart. And I want to tell you about the 4 elements that are on there, because they really do sum up our school. So the first one being, if you notice that big badge in the middle, we have got 2 oak trees at the top. The one on the left actually signifies, you know, a journey into adulthood. So you join us as a small acorn, and then you grow as a person, and you grow up into a young adult. And everybody has their own journey at school, and they all have different obstacles that they have to overcome. But collectively, you are going to be joining a Year 7 as a little family in Year 7 in September, but you have a really important role to play in helping other people on their journey, not just looking after number 1, yourself. On the right hand side at the top of that crest is the second oak tree. As you can see, that's a very similar carbon copy, but this one is put on the school badge to signify strength, and like an oak tree that is really big and strong. And as you grow, this is about you learning how to look after yourselves and very much looking at how to look after the other people that are around you, whether that be your friends, whether that be people in your class or people you've never ever spoken to. We're really keen for you to value everybody in our community. The reason though that this oak tree is here is actually the main reason we had our first school motto, which is a Latin term, Il Dominus Frustra. That actually translates loosely as together we are stronger, and we really believe in that motto at school. We want to look out for everybody. In the middle of that badge is, you can see the sort of the tealy blue and white wavy lines. We're very lucky to have amazing grounds at this school, and this is, a reference to the 3 amazing lakes we have at school. But it's also about the knowledge and having a big knowledge base. So obviously we're talking about, lots of knowledge that you learn in your subject areas as you do your different subjects, and you're exposed to more and more, various different subjects you wouldn't have practiced in primary school. But it's actually also about the knowledge of you and, what sort of person you are growing into and how you want to be seen by different people that you come into contact with, how you present yourselves in different social situations, and how you interact with the world around you. Okay, you're going to be a completely different person by the time you reach year 11 or year 13. And then the main, big, dominant lion rampant, which is in the middle of the badge, is there because we really value people who are brave at school. And you can be brave and show that you're brave in a number of different ways. We want you to take risks at school. We want you to try new things. We want you to really stick and dig in when times get hard and you're struggling with something, because that's where most learning takes place, actually, and when you're resilient and you're really trying hard. So it's on there, loud and proud, really big on that badge, because we want you to be prepared to fail, but learn from these experiences so that you can all progress. Okay. So look, that's a little bit of history. We're very proud of it. We will be sharing more as you join us in September, and you will get to be experts on our school, hopefully. Next slide, please. You also join us at a really pivotal point in time where we have some GAT names and some values, and Miss Pearson's going to talk about those a little bit later on. And these are going to become terminology and words, key words that you live by and you use yourselves. And the number one thing that we are trying to create and instill in each and every one of you as students, but also the staff that work at this school, is that we want to develop upstanders. Okay, and everybody at our school has the capability to be an upstander. Next slide, please. And you might be sitting there thinking, what on earth is an upstander? You might all have slightly different ideas about what that is. Don't panic. This is a brand new initiative and a brand new term that we are launching in September, and you as Year 7 students are going to play a huge part in that, just the same as everybody else that's in this school, whether they're starting on day 1 or they've been here for 5 years or 6 years already. So we will teach you what it is to be an upstander and how you can be one, and we will reward you and expect you to reach those standards, but we will definitely help you in getting there. Okay. So look, that's enough from Mr. Brown. I'm going to now pass you over to numero uno, Miss Pearson, your head of year. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown. It's really interesting to learn about our school, and honestly, you will learn so much more once you join us in September. Now I'm going to go through a few more of probably the questions that you want answered, as well as touching on some key elements of our school. I'm hoping that in a moment my PowerPoint will go live. Mr. Brown, can you see my PowerPoint?
I cannot. Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's all come up now, ma'am. You're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much for confirming that. Technology, hey. So I am actually welcoming you as Year 7 because you are nearly fully fledged members of our school, and I've put some photos there. One of the sign as you come in, because obviously that's something that you'll pass on your first day here. Maybe you've already passed that multiple times if you come to us in juniors. In the middle, we've got our beautiful Gatton Hall, which hopefully you'll have the opportunity to go into at various times during your time here. If you stay for sixth form, you may end up living in that beautiful building as one of our boarding houses. And on the right hand side, hopefully that is how you feel about starting at our school in September, but do not worry if you are feeling a little bit nervous as well. So by way of some introductions, my name is Miss Pearson, as Mr. Brown introduced me earlier. I will be your head of year in September. I also teach PE, maths and PSHE, so you may see me in and around various classrooms in the school. I also oversee the netball programme at the school, so if you're a netballer, we will definitely be getting to know each other as well, and I look forward to meeting you all. Now, one question that I always get asked a lot about is, what does a typical day at our school look like? Now, obviously, we are a state boarding school, which means that we have a different element to our school in the fact that we have boarding, and that is for our flexi students as well as our fully fledged boarders. So on the screen is a typical day for a boarder, in the fact that it says has a wake up, but of course as a flexi boarder student you will be also allowed to come onto site for breakfast in the morning, and at the latest you need to be in school for 8:30 when registration begins. Now you will sometimes spend your morning registration with your tutor group in your tutor base, and on other mornings you will have assemblies. This year, those assemblies have taken place virtually via Teams, very similar to this, but hopefully next year we'll be able to have a few more people in the room together and be able to have assemblies as a year group in one room and as a lower school in the chapel. You then have 2 lessons back to back with a 5-minute changeover period. Our school site is quite large if you haven't visited it yet, and therefore it means that we sometimes do need a little longer to get to those lessons, but don't worry, 5 minutes is sufficient time to get from one end of site to the next. You then have a break time, you have 2 more lessons, and then you have lunchtime. Now lunchtime is a little bit more different at our school because everybody eats in the dining hall and everybody has the option to have a hot lunch. I must admit, lunch is one of my favourite parts of the day. I do love a good bit of food, and our dining hall is exceptional. There are so many different options, and don't worry if you've got any dietary requirements because they are able to cater for them all. You just need to let us know. You then have 2 further lessons, lessons 5 and 6, and then you return to houses. Now, as a boarder or a flexi boarder, you will be able to go into your boarding house after school. More often than not, they have some biscuits and some squash out, which I know definitely appeals to our students as a little post school snack. And then you have something called activities. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to steal Mr. Chirpak's thunder for later, but basically this is an element of our school which I love and I think is absolutely wonderful. And basically it is a huge program whereby you can join a number of different activities, get a load of different experiences, and it ranges from things like archery to arts and crafts, to Minecraft club, to chess club. There is literally a club for anyone and almost anything, and therefore Mr. Chabot will talk more about that later, but I really hope that you throw yourself into the activities program because it is one of the most fantastic things that our school offers. You then have your dinner, or tea as it's shown on there, and some of you may have gone home after your activities, some of you may stay for dinner. If you're a flexi boarder, obviously boarders will stay for dinner, and then you do activities in your house. Now, another question that I get asked a lot is about the timetable and the breakdown of lessons. And I must say that as a PE teacher, I am thrilled with the timetable because you get 2 core PE lessons and a games afternoon as well. So you get 4 lessons a week of PE, which is fabulous. You then get the number of lessons shown on the screen for other things, and it's really, really broad and you get so much variety. And on your first day, you'll be presented with a document that looks a little bit like the item that has just flown into the screen. And you'll see it says the subject, it will say the teacher with a 3 code reference, and then it will say the room that you have it in. Don't worry about this. We fully expect Year 7 students, brand new students to the school, to find their way over time. It's not something that we expect for you to be able to do on the first day. And please have my reassurance, our older students are fantastic here at directing people in the right direction. So all you'll need to do is ask, or where is history 1, if I'm looking at the top left there, and someone will point you in the correct direction. But just to reassure you that you will get a timetable that you'll be able to stick in your prep diary that you can follow. You don't have to remember it off by heart, but there is a lot of moving around. But as I've already said, you have that 5-minute changeover period to do that within. Now, prep. Prep is also known as homework, just here it is called prep. It may be called prep at your current school, it may be called homework. It is something that I know as Year 6 students transitioning into secondary school, you are somewhat nervous about often. And please be reassured, we give you a prep diary that you can write all of your prep in. You get given a prep timetable, which means that if you follow it accurately, you should never be doing more than 2 pieces of prep in an evening. And we also have this app called Class Charts, which you and your parents will get access to, which your teachers will also put your prep tasks on there. It is something that you're going to have to adjust to. Most of our students kind of by about Christmas time are well in the flow of it and are able to complete their prep efficiently and on time. But if you need any more support with that, you do not need to worry. There are plenty of people here who you can come and speak to, your tutor, your teachers, and we'll be able to provide you with that support. It isn't something that you may be able to adjust to straight away, but as I say, there's all those things in place to help you to get used to it. Now, Mr. Brown mentioned earlier that I will be talking about these, and these are our Gatton aims. So at Gatton, we aim to do the following 5 things. Now, we reward these things throughout your time. You will hear Gatton Awards, and they are a huge accolade. But what we want from these is for you to come out as a well-rounded young individual when you go off into the big wide world when you leave us in either year 11 or year 13. Now, some examples of the ways that you can kind of embody these Gatton aims: being courageous and honest, that 4th one down. Do you know what? On the first few days, it's going to feel quite overwhelming, but having the courage, like that lion on our crest, okay, to be able to ask someone, excuse me, please can you point me in the direction of history 1, okay, will be huge. And we will really be looking for you to be independent and take ownership there so that you are able to get to your lessons on time. Aspiring and persevering is something that you will definitely be able to do through our co-curricular program. Perseverance is a huge thing here, and persevering with secondary school when you start is going to feel like probably a little bit of a hard job, but you know what, you will get there. And it will be a really enjoyable process. You'll have a lot of growing up, but actually we will be there to help you through that process. Now, our expectations of you, to be honest, these are probably things that you've heard before, but just to reiterate, we will expect you to be kind and courteous towards staff, towards your fellow students, and towards everyone on site. We want you to be positive contributors to our community. We want you to listen and follow instructions, and I mean the first time that you are asked. It is very frustrating when you have to ask someone to do something more than once, so make sure you are listening first time and make sure you follow that instruction immediately. We want you to have high levels of effort. Pushing yourself and putting in lots of effort is an exceptional way to make progress. And you know what? You learn far, far more when you try hard than when you are just coasting along. So high levels of effort will be something that I will expect of you. We will expect you to look out for each other. Mr. Brown has already touched on that, and it really comes into our upstander philosophy that we have at our school. If something doesn't look right and something doesn't sit right with you, we will expect you to look out for one another and report that kind of behaviour. If you wouldn't want it done to yourself, you shouldn't be doing it to others. And if you think that something's not right, then look out for that fellow peer of yours and report that behaviour and step in and look and be an upstander. We expect you to be organised. As I've already mentioned, you have your prep diary, you have your prep timetable, you'll have your printed timetable given to you, but you will need to make sure that you have the right books with you, the right prep tasks with you each and every day. As I've said before, though, your tutors will be there to support you with that, and they will be seeing you every single morning. And so any questions you have, you will have that opportunity to ask them each and every day. We will expect you to ask for help when required. We are not mind readers, and we are here to support you. Therefore, if you are struggling with something or just have a general query, have that courage to ask that question and just put your hand up and say, I'm struggling a little bit with this. Can someone please give me a bit of help? And we will be here to support you. I would like you, and this is one that's really personal to me, but I know that everybody else in the school will also want you to do this, to rise to any new challenges. Do you know what? With our activities programme and with our broad and balanced curriculum, there will be so many new challenges for you. And for some of you, those things won't come naturally. But I really want you to challenge yourself to really thrive and make the most of the opportunities that are given to you. So to really just put in that high level of effort, persevere, and see what the outcomes are. We would like you to aspire and strive to be the best version of yourself. Gosh, isn't that a long sentence? But you know what? You will learn far more about yourself over the next few years throughout this transition and throughout adolescence, growing up. And we want you always to aspire to be the best version of yourself. And finally, we expect you to be an upstander. We will give you a lot more information about this when you arrive in September, but it is something that we are very, very keen for our year 7s and our older years to begin to show day in, day out, to look out for each other and to make sure that they are being the best versions of themselves and making sure that they are standing up for what they believe is right. Opportunities at our school are huge, and as I've said before, I'm not going to steal Mr. Chirpak's thunder, but you will also have the opportunity to go on trips at the weekend to, as a flexi-boarder, board for up to 10 nights a year in our boarding houses. You also have the opportunity to get hugely involved in the co-curricular programme and also just to try out new subjects that maybe you haven't tried before. So what I would advise you to do in September is chuck yourself in, throw your name in the hat for as many things as possible, get yourself on trips, sign up to clubs, and really make the most of the opportunity available to you. Now, I know that you are all eagerly waiting. Will I be in a tutor group with my friend? What will their names be? Who is my tutor going to be? And you know what? You're going to have to wait a little bit longer because you're going to find out your tutor group on the first day of term in September. On your first day here, you need to turn up in full school uniform. You won't need your PE kit, but you will need a sturdy bag. I recommend a rucksack, a pencil case filled with all new stationery, I'm sure, and a filled water bottle. Other than that, we will provide you with everything else that you will need. You may also want to bring with you your transition pack, which is something that's going to be sent to you in the next few weeks, which I've put together to help ease your transition into school and also to help you reflect on anything that you would like to know. So first day, full school uniform, bag, pencil case, water bottle and transition pack. Now, finally, from me, one thing you should know at our school, you may call your teachers at the moment Miss and Sir. At our school, we call our teachers Ma'am and Sir. So don't worry, you'll get used to it super quick, but it's not Miss at our school, it is Ma'am. Now, I can't wait to meet you all in September and to get to know every single one of you. But for now, please, ask away for any questions that you have after I've passed over to Mr. Chirpak, and really just look forward to being part of the Gatton community come September. We cannot wait to welcome you, and we look forward to getting to know every single one of you a little bit better. Mr. Chirpak, over to you now, sir, to talk about a little bit about our co-curricular programme.
Thanks, Ms. Pearson, and hello Year 6, and looking forward to meeting you all in September. So I think you've had quite a lot of information there, but it's really, really useful you get that information. And I just want to touch a little bit more upon the co-curriculum, which is a major part of what I oversee at the school. And it's a major part of what we do here at at the Royal Alexandra and Albert School. In fact, we think it's so important that we think it's as important as your academic study and all your pastoral stuff that looks after you from day to day and in the house as well. And we think it's one of our 3 pillars that underpins everything that we do. And it's often a reason why you choose the school. So you might have chosen this school because of our co-curricular programme. And as Miss Pearson said, it is wide ranging in loads of different areas. In fact, this term we had 180 clubs running a week across the whole school, and for your year group there'll be plenty of options for you to get involved, and I think you'll be pretty surprised at what we've got on offer for you. Our main aim with the co-curriculum is to just get you involved with a broad range of activities, but also offer you some clear pathways so you can really develop in all the key areas or all the exciting areas that you may be doing now and you want to continue through this school, or trying something new, coming out of your comfort zone and doing something different. And we really encourage that. In fact, we really want you to do that and try something new, and you'll be amazed to find and see what you can achieve and what you can enjoy by just doing something. And that's something that we really positively engage. So we've got lots of activities, lots of things to choose in sport, the creative and performing arts, leadership, recreation and outdoor adventure. And there'll be a host of different things for you to choose from. The way you sign up, we have a nice, easy to use online system that we send out to you and your parents before the start of term, and that will go out in a nice brochure for you to have a good look at before the start of next term. And we'll have a sign up window. Our sign up is done by random, so you don't have to rush to make your choices, but we try and aim to get everybody at least one of their main choices, and we're pretty successful at getting even more than those for most of you. We do put a cap on the amount of clubs you can do because you're going to be busy people, but we do want you to try and get involved as much as possible, and we want you to all of you to be involved in at least one activity regularly a week, because we think it's important for you to have that experience, that downtime if you like, and to get involved in something a little bit different as well. Another part of the co-curricular programme is character education, and like both Mr. Brown and Miss Pearson have said, we want you to come to RNA and leave, whenever you leave, a better person, and for you to develop your personal skills and characteristics. So from September, you will be involved in a character education programme. You might not be involved in it straight away. It might be something that's kind of unseen to start off with, but through the year, you will be looking at it specifically, and we'll expect you to fully engage in that, because being a good character and developing your character is really important to us, and it's important for you as you move forward and as you grow as a person. So that's something that you will be involved in as well. We do a lot of work with outside community groups and also charity groups. So we're hoping you'll all get involved with some kind of charity event. We host a lot of charity events. And we also have a lot of groups come on site and deliver presentations, activities in the evening that you can get involved. We also link with local clubs and organisations. So we have some strong links with sport and the arts and drama and music in particular, and a lot of local charities. So that's something that we do, and it's very much a part of our community, getting involved either in the house or as a year group or as an individual. So really that's what it's all to do with. There's lots to get involved with. You'll be very, very busy, but that's a good thing. And we really want you to make the most of all the opportunities here, whether it's taking part in a club, playing in a fixture, being part of a production, being part of a concert, or raising some money for charity. There are also trips that you can take part in, and we will talk more about that when you're here in September. So I think that's it really. That's all from me. Looking forward to meet you all on a co-curricular aspect, but also around the school. Hopefully we'll all see you getting involved. So we're now going to open the floor to questions. I think we've got a few questions coming in. One of my colleagues is also going to be moderating. So if some of these questions start coming in thick and fast, she'll be typing in some replies as well. So if you don't get answered by one of us, it will be answered at some point. And if your question doesn't get answered, or you think of something later down the line and we miss it, we will be sending out an FAQs page for you and your parents to go through as well. And there'll be lots of questions on there and a lot of recapping of what's been going on. So let's have a look. I'm just scrolling down some of these questions. The ones that I think we've got some replies going in to the first set of questions. So if you have a look at those, they should be being answered. Should we receive any information yet about uniform? And just to reiterate that, the answer's gone in. Parents will be sent new pupil booklets with all the information next week. So that should be able to answer all of those. And I think that information booklet will answer a lot of questions across a broad range of topics. So just wait for that to come up, and I'm sure that will help with you. One specific question, which is absolutely fine. Do you have lacrosse training and fixtures? No, we don't. I think I'm probably in the best position, although you have got 3 PE teachers with you here, which is quite interesting. We run a lot of sport at the school, both recreationally and competitively. Our main competitive sports are rugby, netball, football, cricket, and swimming. We do some competitive fixtures in other sports, but they're our main ones. But you'll have the opportunity to play a whole host of sports. Lacrosse isn't on our programme at the moment, but that's maybe something we can look at. Any other questions coming in? I'm just scrolling down. How many clubs do you have to do? Good question. Again, I'll answer that one. At the moment we expect you to do at least one. Borders slightly more, because obviously you're here a little bit more, so at least 2 in the week. That might change if the COVID rules start to come back to, if we start to come back to normal service, we'll let you know. But we expect everybody to do something, and that's the most important thing, whether it's after school and after tea and after prep in the evenings as a boarder, or in our 4 to 5, 5 to 6 program where flexis and boarders go together. The next one, is year 7 going to be strict? I'm going to hand that over to one of my colleagues. I don't know which one who wants to take that.
I don't mind taking that one, Joe.
Go for it.
Goes back to me. Hello everyone, me again. Look, I think what we want to be is not just strict for strict's sake. How I would describe it is we're very much warm strict. We have expectations. We very much instill those in you and expect you to deliver on those expectations. And it will happen when you step away from that, or maybe don't quite get something right, we have a duty of care to look after you and make sure that you understand what you should have done, and how you could improve if you was to find yourself in a situation like that in the future. And it's very much, I've never worked in a school where staff care as much as they do here, especially the staff that come into our school and end up sticking around for a little bit. I think there are easier schools to work in than our school. But I think actually one of the things that keeps people here is that they like and they value that caring side that they bring to the profession. So yes, it is strict, and yes, we will push you because we very much want to improve you and help you become the best versions of yourself. So it's coming from a very good place. We're doing it to help you out as much as possible.
If you stay on, Mr. Brown, I'll ask you a couple of, hopefully, a few quick answers. Can you bring in your own books?
Yes.
And
do you mean reading books? I'm going to say, if in terms of reading books, absolutely. So you'll be expected to have a reading book in your bag every single day, just in case you need it for your tutor time, or you need it at certain points in the day. Then you've got it with you. In terms of your exercise books that you write in and you record some of your lesson activities, the work that you're doing, no, we will issue you with all the stuff that you need. If you wanted to bring in a pad of paper or a notebook, just have in your bag on the first day, you are more than welcome to do that.
And also, what time is lights out at bedtime?
Good question. I want to say that for year 7, it's around about 9:15, something like that, in the boarding house. But I will be corrected on that. We haven't got year 7s in my house in Gloucester that I work in currently. So yeah. Maybe
Miss Pearson might know the answer to that.
9:20.
Oh, that's really close.
not far off. Close enough. Close enough. Question. I'll answer this one. Is there a swimming pool on site? Yes, there very much is a swimming pool on site, and you'll be very lucky because you'll be one of the first groups of pupils, students to go into our newly refurbished swimming pool, which by all accounts is looking very, very smart. So that will be really exciting. There's swimming in core PE lessons, and we also have lots of sessions, swimming sessions, squad sessions and recreational sessions after school, and we host galas and run swim squads. So if you're into swimming recreationally or competitively, there'll be lots of opportunity for you. Next one, is prep club compulsory? Well, if I take that one and anybody chips in if I miss anything, It's well, it depends. If you're a boarder, then yes, you have to go to prep in your boarding house. If you're a flexi, then it's up to you whether you stay. Obviously, doing homework is compulsory, and we expect you to maintain high standards with that and meet all those deadlines. And they'll all be laid out for you at the start of next term. In terms of flexi staying for prep at school, no, that's not compulsory. That option is there for you if you'd like to use it. Anything to add on that either? No, I think we've got that one covered. How many students are at school? I think we're roughly at around 1,150 in total across the whole school from years 3 to 13, and in year 7 next year, I don't know the exact number actually, but I'll try and find that. We're roughly at about 160 pupils in a year group, so it will be around that number. So you're coming into a pretty sizable year group. So yeah, that will answer that one. I'm just flicking down to see what else.
Mr. Churpak, can I just go in off the back of that?
Of course.
I've just seen a question come through about how many people will be in our tutor group. So in your year group, there will be 6 tutors, and therefore there will be probably a maximum of 30 students in your tutor group, but likely to be a few less than that. Because as Mr. Churpak has said, there is around 160 people per year group. So if you do the maths, you can work out there that it's slightly less than 30 when divided by 6. Another question that's coming in is about mobile phone use. At school, we very much have a policy that it is when you're on site, your phone is out of sight. Therefore, for flexi boarders, we would expect you to have your phone out of sight. Prior to this year, flexi boarders, the expectation was that you handed your phone in at the boarding house. Until we have it confirmed that flexi boarders will be able to go into the boarding houses in September, we will obviously get that message to you as to whether you're expected to hand it in or just have it off and out of sight. For boarders, as year 7s, you will get your phone back after you have gone to dinner. So the expectation is you will come in after school. Obviously, you can use the house phone if you would like to call parents or family. You'll be able to turn on the telly if you're not doing an activity and just chill out for a bit. Then after you go to dinner, when you get back, then you'll be allowed your electronics and mobile phone back prior to your prep session starting.
Great, thank you for that, Ms. Pearson. I'm just seeing if there's any other sort of little questions we can answer, because I'm conscious of time and wanting to draw a close. We've answered quite a lot of questions about the swimming pool and numbers in your groups. Yes, there is tennis clubs. There'll be somewhere between 25 to 30 people in your tutor group. I think that's right. I think we're probably coming to the end of all the questions now. I've not seen any more that we've not answered, that we've probably not answered already. Number of children in the school, we've answered that one for you. I think most of the questions are being answered now. So I think what we're going to do now is probably draw a close to the Q&A. As I said, we will pick up any of the questions that we've missed, and we can forward those answers to you. And a lot of the questions will be in our FAQs pack that we will send out to you. So all it is for me now to say is thank you very much for attending. I hope you found this really, really useful. As Mr. Brown and Ms. Pearson have said, we are really, really looking forward to having you here with us next term, and it's going to be an exciting time for us all, and we're looking forward to having you all. So in the meantime, look out for all the information that comes out via your email, and have a chat with your parents and check with them that they share that information with you, and we'll see you hopefully all excited and ready, raring to start in September. Thank you very much.